Very strange day today, isn't it? What day is it? Oh, yeah, it's the 29th of January 2018. It was on this day that the Republicans in the House Intelligence Committee, disregarding Justice Department warnings that what they were about to do would be extraordinarily reckless and place U.S. national security in jeopardy, they voted today to this evening to release the so-called secret memorandum that was put together by this strange person, Nunes, David Nunes, whatever his name is, doesn't matter, that is said to accuse the Justice Department and the FBI of misusing their authority to obtain secret surveillance on former Trump campaign associate. That would be, which one was it? Oh, I can't think of his name. It'll come up in a second. The vote, of course, was made along party lines, and it another attempt by the Republicans and their shills in right-wing media to end this investigation by Mueller into obviously criminal action. I say obviously because if there were no criminal action involved, then this moron, this asshole who is the President of the United States, even though he is an asshole, would have said, go ahead, look at anything you want. But I think what a lot of people who support him don't realize, or maybe they do and they applaud it, is he is a criminal. He is a criminal. He has violated the laws of probably every country in which he has put up one of his phony name plaques on a building. I'm sure he's violated the laws of the state of New York and the city of New York. He's a criminal. His whole family are criminals. And why the Republican Party will continue to align themselves with this kind of criminal activity in order to cover up what this monster has done. I call him a monster because he, along with his shills at the Fox News sewer and Limbaugh and the rest of these swine, and the Republicans in Congress, they're hell-bent on destroying the country. I don't get this. I really don't. The other thing I don't get is why we American citizens are allowing this to happen. In order to do this latest damage to the country and the Constitution and our electoral process and the criminal justice system, in order to do damage to all of that, the Republicans, according to New York Times, invoked a power never before used by this secretive little committee that Nunes put together to effectively declassify the memo that they had compiled using classified. Nunes got his slimy fucking hands on material that never, ever should have come within 1,000 miles of Nunes because he's such a traitorous little dog. So the memo was comprised of little bits of classified information. And because they're Republicans and thugs and liars, I'm sure it was all taken out of context and put together in a way that is incoherent. But the Republicans and their allies in social media and in Russia and in mainstream media in this country will tout this as though it is some sort of revelatory information that shows once and for all what? In order to get a FISA warrant, and listen, they're not just attacking the FBI and the Justice Department. They're attacking the judges, the FISA court judges who allow a FISA warrant to be issued. judges appointed by Democrats and Republicans over a period of years. So they're attacking these Republican swine. They're attacking judicial system. They're attacking the FBI. They're attacking and destroying the Justice Department. Do you wonder why? Now, ostensibly, this is all to cover up or derail the investigation, but ultimately cover up the criminal activities of Trump and his criminal family. And this is the party of law and order. Okay. Now, Democrats said that this so-called memo, apparently it's a 3.5-page document, is, the Democrats say it's a dangerous effort to build a narrative to undercut the Justice Department's ongoing Russia investigation, using cherry-picked facts assembled with little or no context. Why do they want to cover up Trump's crimes? Now, what comes next is not very clear. Under this obscure House rule that's never been used before by the committee, Trump now has 5 days to review this document that Nunes put together and decide whether to block it from going public or to just doing nothing, in which case it'll be released to the public, the global public. Now, this criminal fuck that is the President of the United States has repeatedly said that he wants the memo released because that's what he hears on Fox Sewer. But even his own Justice Department has been working to block its release. Now, the Democrats on this committee, voting as a bloc, tried to get into motion, to try to advance a series of motions that wouldn't have changed anything in the memo except to put it into context. Of course, if whatever points are being made in this memo were put into context, it would render the memo meaningless. Speaking to reporters, this little slice of audio and video is available online. After this vote, Adam Schiff, the top Democrat on the committee, said it had been his words, sad day for the committee, and that Republicans had voted to politicize the intelligence process. The bottom line, I think, on what these Republicans are doing is, for better or for worse, they are removing permanently the effectiveness of U.S. intelligence gathering organizations. Because from this point forward, there will be no way that a FISA-issued warrant for a wiretap, by the way, is against Carter Page, who is a Russian agent. He is a Russian agent, and I think Manafort is too, and I also, well, let's leave it at those two for the time being. But by releasing this, and in the process, by the very nature of the memo that Nunes put together, will reveal different lines of communication that expose how the memo was put together, which when you work back, will expose the intelligence gathering process that we have used in this country forever. It will no longer work. It can't work. Because the Republicans now, because of their insanity and their inexplicable insistence on protecting this criminal thug, this rotten fucker that's in the White House, in doing that, in protecting him or diverting attention away from the crimes he's committed, they are bringing forever into question any action taken by the Justice Department or the FBI, any warrant issued by the FISA court.